Okay, we're recording. Okay, I changed my camera and it's in a different spot now. Okay, g'day everybody. Welcome back to All Things Podcast, episode 30 today. Big 30, and we have a little bit to talk about today. Obviously, Andor finished last night, the finale, and all I can say is finally it is finished. We'll get into the review for Andor. It's very soon. We'll also be talking about FIFA World Cup, Rugby League World Cup. Today, I am joined once again. You guessed it, Joseph is back once again. Fourth episode, fifth episode now. Just crazy. Um, Welcome back, Joseph.
Yeah,
Good to have you back.
always good to be back.
Yes, sir. But yeah, let's get straight into this episode. I don't know how long it will go for. It could go. I don't think it'll be the longest episode. Andor, we're probably gonna get through really quick. We don't have much to say about that. But let's get straight into our Andor season 1 review. Okay, uh, Star Wars Andor season 1. It's now finished. Finished last night. 12 episodes. I don't know what to say. I don't think Joseph knows what to say either because I honestly don't even remember what happens at the start of the show. To me, it dragged out way too much. 12 episodes was not needed. I don't want to trash on it because, Tony Gilroy, he's a very good filmmaker, but I'm sorry, Andor wasn't Star Wars to me. A lot of people love it, and I can see why they love it, but I love Star Wars, not a spy thriller. Like, yeah, it was cool to have this spy thriller, but I love Star Wars. I love the Force. I love the Jedi, the Sith, lightsabers, lightsaber duels. That's what I want to see when I'm watching Star Wars. And obviously, that's not what we got during Andor. So to me, Andor, I'm never going to revisit it. Yes, I'm going to watch season 2. I think season 2 will be much better. Um, I I was really disappointed we never got to see Palpatine. Obviously, the Senate the Senate was cool, but it was, to be honest, it was really lame. They think, oh, it's fan service to show Palpatine when it's really not. When you think about it, yeah, he's a main character, but if it's going to benefit the storyline, it's not fan service. Palpatine is the leader of the galaxy around this time. He's the head of the Senate. Why is he not there? And obviously we got Sly Moore's name thrown around a few times, and they had the dinner with her, but we never saw that because that's fan service. Oh, it's a character from the prequels, a big character, on mid character, but like they don't show us, and that's something I'm really disappointed in. Is the lack of Star Wars elements. Yeah, we got all those Easter eggs in the back of Luthen's shop, but Tony Gilroy, the creator of this show, didn't even know that those were there until fans pointed them out online. Apparently, the set designers just threw them in there because they just want to have a bit of fun. But
Oh wow.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, to me, uh, I'm never gonna watch it again. Maybe episode 6, the Eye, that was pretty cool. But really, I don't care for this. I don't care about it. Um, Going into Andor, I didn't have expectations. I thought we would get more than what we got. But even episode 12, the finale, when they had Andor's mum's funeral, Jesus Christ, they just blowing all the trumpet and the instrument for so long. That was dragged out as hell. And then you have Padme's funeral in the prequels, and it's freaking 10 seconds long. Like Andor's mum's mum. No one, who cares about her? Freaking long ass funeral that we don't need to see. Yeah, I don't want to trash an Andor. It was very different, but to me, I'm never gonna watch it again. To me, it wasn't Star Wars. Now that's just my opinion. For me, when I'm watching Star Wars, I just want to see the Force, lightsabers, Jedi, Sith. That's what I love watching when I watch Star Wars. That, to me, that is what Star Wars is. To me, Andor, the Andor elements is not Star Wars. I get they wanted to do something new, and it was great to try something new, but in my opinion, I just love it when they stick to the good old lightsaber duels with the Force, the Jedi, the Sith. I'm definitely much more hyped for the Acolyte because, Sith-centered show. we haven't had much of the Sith's background before, so Acolyte should be good. But Andor really did disappoint me. It's just not Star Wars to me. I know a lot of people are loving it, and if you love it, then I wish I could love it as well. But when I watch a Star Wars branded show, I'm wanting to see all those Star Wars elements that make up Star Wars, which is the Force, Jedi, as I've said. But in the finale, the ending was really cool. Did the post credit scene? Did you know that was the post credit?
No, I didn't. I didn't see it. No.
Right at the end after all the credits, there was a post credit scene, and it was. Do you care if I tell you? You want me to spoil it?
No, go for it.
So basically, it was just the Death Star being finalized. So obviously, season 2, we're going to see the Death Star. But yeah,
It's
in
kind of
credit
cool.
scene, yeah, they just had the little buzz droids or
So,
whatever finishing off the Death Star.
so what you're telling me is the entire series in which we want a little bit of fan service. We want a little bit of like Star Wars, and then they went into the post-credit scene to give us
The Death
debatably
Star,
the
yeah,
the biggest thing in the Star Wars. Like,
galaxy, yeah,
um, yeah, no, I didn't know that. I think that's really cool. But I do
yeah.
agree with you that, like, it isn't the Star Wars that we are used to and Star Wars that anybody asked for. And I appreciate that they tried something new because
Mm-hmm.
it's leaning more into the political side of it. It's leaning more into like like yeah, everything behind the rebels, everything behind the empire,
Mm-hmm.
and its like upbringing.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool. And yes, I'm sure that there are a lot of people who do enjoy it because it's hardcore lore to the story. It's not face value, and I appreciate that. But we have, I think if this was released a few years ago, or maybe a few years in the future, where we're not as thirsty for Star Wars, like pure Star Wars, if we weren't as like hungry for it, if we weren't missing it so much, I think this would be a lot more appreciated because right now, Tales of the Jedi, you can watch that in an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Right. Um, Mandalorian has been showing. I suppose it's been getting closer to it. We've seen Luke Skywalker and whatnot, but Andor just chucked in the middle of a Star Wars drought
Yeah.
where we haven't had the Force like heavily. We haven't had the Force. We haven't had Sith. We
Major,
haven't
yeah.
had Jedi and lightsabers and just Star Wars. We're just chucked into this. Like it's. I feel like it was.
Yeah.
It was poor timing.
Yeah,
If maybe we watch it in a few years later where we've had say a movie or two movies and a bunch more TV shows, I think we could appreciate this a lot more. But right now, when we're in a
yeah,
drought for Star Wars,
maybe,
it's
yes.
it's like we struggle to watch it.
Yeah, I definitely agree there. Because I don't know what to say. I don't care for it. Like, give
Yeah,
me lightsabers and freaking Jedi and Sith dueling. Like that's with Kenobi. Kenobi overall, like looking back at it now, it really wasn't great from a filmmaking perspective. But I'm always going to go and rewatch that Vader vs Obi-Wan fight in Episode
yeah,
6 because
exactly.
to me that's one of my favorite duels in all of Star Wars. That was so emotional. That was Star Wars. Two
Yeah,
a Jedi, a Sith, lightsabers, the Force being used to create emotion, create themes, and that's what I love. When I watch Star Wars, that's what Star Wars is. When it first started, Episode 4, the Force and the lightsabers, the Jedi, the Sith.
yeah,
That's what that was the birth of Star Wars. Episode 4, New Hope, 1977. And when I go to watch Star Wars, I'm praying that we get another cool ass, sick lightsaber duel between a Jedi and a Sith. Some Force users in there, and Andor, we're not gonna get that. But
no,
which I understand a lot of people love it. In my opinion, I'm jealous of you guys that love it. I wish I could love it, but I just don't care about a spy thriller. That's not my favorite genre. I love, this the space fantasy sci-fi stuff.
yeah,
Stuff done in space that like fantasy stuff like that. That's what I love. I don't really care about a spy thriller. Yeah, it's cool and it's cool to have it in Star Wars, but to me, I don't care. But I will watch season 2. Of course, I'm still gonna watch season 2, and I'm praying for season 2 to be better. Now, I think we could see Grand Admiral Thrawn in season 2, because around the time the season 2, he will be becoming a Grand Admiral, and Thrawn will make his live action debut in Ahsoka, so we could potentially see him in Andor. They're going to leave his
Yeah,
live action debut for Ahsoka show, but then again, I'm sorry, I don't think it's going to happen. Tony Gilroy's not going to do it because it's fan service. I hate how they think if these major characters are in a show, it's fan service. That's not the case. If it's going to benefit the storyline, that's not fan
yeah,
service. Obi-Wan vs. Maul on Tatooine in Rebels Twin Sons, that will be happening around the time of season 2 of Andor. If they go and show us that, that's fan service because that doesn't benefit the storyline of
yeah.
Andor. But Grand
I'd
Admiral
still love
Thrawn,
it.
yeah, we would love that. But that is the
But
definition of fan service.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Giving us Thrawn, who is someone very high up in the Empire, and Andor is basically the rebels versus the Empire, and the rebels being built and the Empire trying to stop them. Grand Admiral Thrawn showing up would make sense.
Yeah,
And I hate how they think it's fan service because of these big characters. No, it's not fan service if it's benefiting the storyline. That's what I
but
just
then
want them to understand.
they chuck in the Death Star. I get it
Yeah,
was a post credit scene,
yeah,
but um, yeah. I don't know if you know this. I saw a TikTok of a popular Australian Star Wars YouTuber. And he, if you go on Disney Plus, he showed it. You go on Disney Plus, you go to Star Wars. You have to go across 7 of the title screens or the big pages up top to actually find Andor.
yeah.
They're not promoting it. Disney are not promoting Andor. I have
Yeah.
not seen Star Wars Instagram post anything about Andor.
It's 9 across. When you click on Star Wars on,
9.
yeah, it's 9 across.
9. I thought it was
Clone
7.
Wars
That's
is
worse.
Clone Wars is second.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what they're doing. They need.
They
I don't love Andor, but you got to promote your new stuff. I think Andor is a good step in the right direction. Like it is, like the cinematography
arguably, yeah.
throughout the entire series is amazing.
Yeah.
Um, even the music holds up. I think the acting is solid, although a lot of the some of the characters, I don't care for
Mm-hmm.
too much.
I agree. From a filmmaking perspective, the score, so the music, the acting, the directing, the writing, cinematography, that was all great. But in a Star Wars branded show, it's lacking Star
Yeah.
Wars.
And that's what I was going to
And
say. I think Disney know that because they're kind of hiding it.
yeah,
Like they're hiding their show.
they in reality, I've said this once before, I'm going to say it again. They need someone else in charge, and that could be coming very, very soon. Now, the CEO of Disney just got fired, and now Bob Iger, who was the CEO of Disney when Disney bought Lucasfilm, is now back in power. I don't know how I feel about it. I think he's definitely better than the last CEO, but he was the reason the sequels were rushed. However, I feel like he knows I feel like he's going to try to right his wrongs. He knows they were rushed. He regrets them. He's put up many statements saying how much he regrets doing what he did to George Lucas's franchise. So I hope him being back in power at Disney is a step in the right direction. Kathleen Kennedy, the president of Lucasfilm, she could be gone Australian winter next year, so American summer next year, July next year. She could be gone after Indiana Jones 5. She could be gone. And I am praying for that. Don't get me wrong, what Kathleen Kennedy has done in the past has been amazing. She's an amazing producer in the past. She worked on E.T., the Jurassic Parks, the original Star Wars. So many great film franchises, films that she's worked on in the past. But I don't feel like she has the responsibility to run a company like Lucasfilm. And I am praying that if she does retire July next year, we don't get some random person in power of Lucasfilm. I've thought about it. I don't want it to be Dave. Dave Filoni can't run a company. He can't run Lucasfilm. He's a director and a writer. He's not a freaking CEO of a company. He
Yeah.
and if he did have to run Lucasfilm, Lucasfilm isn't just Star Wars. They have their other stuff such as Willow, Indiana Jones. Dave Filoni knows Star Wars inside out. I want him to be focusing on Star Wars. I want him to be the head creative of Star Wars, of Star Wars, which means he has to look over every single project that's happening, every single show and movie he has to approve of. He has to look over. That's what I want Dave to be doing. He is the only one at Lucasfilm who knows Star Wars as good as George Lucas. He's the only one left in Lucasfilm who knows Star Wars as good as George Lucas does. So, the person I want to run Lucasfilm is Jon Favreau. He's got experience in the business side of filmmaking and being a producer. I reckon he would run Lucasfilm very well. And yeah, I hope we don't get another random person. Kathleen can't just leave and then we get someone just as bad or someone worse. I don't want to say Kathleen Kennedy's bad, but she's done amazing things in the past. But at the moment, I don't feel like she has the responsibility to run a big company like Lucasfilm.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, it kind of goes to show that, I mean, what we've had of late, at least movie-wise, and from what we know, has been impacted by her. And but I also understand what you mean about Bob Iger. It's kind of scary to see where we're going. Like,
There's been a few articles came out. Apparently, he wants to sell Disney. I can't. I can't see Disney being under someone. I can't see Disney being owned by someone else. Apparently,
no, Disney own everybody.
Apple, looking at it.
Really?
That blows my mind, to be honest. I don't know. Apple
I
Apple
see
owning
Disney as
Disney,
the
Lucasfilm, or
I see Apple. I see Disney as like the biggest powerhouse in media right now. At least, I mean,
hun-
like cinema.
100%.
They own
They own everything.
Fox. They own Marvel. They own Disney. They own. Oh, sorry. They own Star Wars.
Yeah, freaking
Like
Pixar,
yeah,
uh,
Pixar.
20th Century Fox,
Yeah, it's absurd. Like I can't picture them being
ESPN.
bought
Yeah,
out.
I know. It's to me. I, I don't think that will happen. Um, but if it does happen, Apple's probably the number one like buyer. Like, and I can't. I don't know how I feel about Apple owning Disney and all their or Marvel, Lucasfilm. I don't know. Give it to Amazon. Give it to Amazon. Amazon
Really?
buy Disney. I would want that, to be honest. I don't care. Then probably Disney Plus would get shut down and everything would go onto Amazon Prime. I feel like, but it's gonna be the same thing, just TV shows. Everything now is these stupid streaming services, and they're just making TV shows. Give me a
Yeah.
freaking movie, dude. Like, I'm so sick of these stupid. They're not stupid TV shows. They drag out, and it's not. You don't get the feeling of a movie. I want to be back in cinema, sitting in my cinema chair, looking at the big screen, and the Star Wars logo comes up, Lucasfilm. It's been too long, and it's going to be much longer because obviously we know two Star Wars movies have been delayed now. The next one isn't until 2027 at the earliest. 5 years. I'll be 20. What the
Oh,
hell? What
yeah.
the hell? And yeah, I don't know. They're in a predicament, and they know that too. They really have to make some improvements. They have to do something. I don't know if they will be able to. They won't ever be able to make Star Wars as good as it used to be. Star Wars' glory
No.
is over, and they're just feeding. They just feeding off Star Wars now for money.
Yeah, well,
And
it's easy when Star Wars is the IP. Is between Star Wars, Marvel, and DC, the IP, it'll bring in whatever. Like
mm-hmm,
it'll bring in numbers and it'll
exactly,
bring in money, and that's what they care about.
like um, if Andor was a TV show that didn't have Star Wars at the start, no, I don't really think it would have many people watching it. I watched it because it was Star Wars. Like I said, I'm gonna watch season 2 of Andor because it's Star Wars, because it's got the Star Wars
Yeah,
label. If it didn't have the Star Wars label, I wouldn't care. I'm only watching it so I know what is happening at this time frame. Even though I don't like it because it has the label and the brand is Star Wars. I'm gonna watch it.
yeah,
It's yeah. It without that, it's just like yeah. I don't know what they're going to do with because eventually fans I don't Star Wars has too big of a following. Fans are never going to turn away. Star Wars won't ever be able to die. It'll just be on a very slow decline. It's got a way too big of a name, and yeah, I hope it's after Kathleen goes and Bob Iger back in power of Disney. I hope things start to change for the better, and it would just be it really will depend who becomes the next president of Lucasfilm, because if it's some random, then it's just no point. There's going to be no change. There needs to be a change. There can't be some
yeah,
random new guy come in and take over from Kathleen and just do the same thing.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like something cool. I mean, if say it is a new person, it's really a shot in the dark. Like we can't guess if it's going to be better or worse. Um, but that's also not a
Yeah.
chance I'd want to take either. Like
No.
I don't know. Right now, it's just so up in the air. It's so worrying that when we don't know what's going to happen with Star Wars
No. I
at all. And yeah,
At least we got the OT and the prequels. I'll just continue watching those, man. Like,
yeah. It just following on from this massive franchise that George Lucas has built.
mm,
It's just constantly, not constantly. I should say that there has been improvement of late.
yeah. Like, look at the Mandalorian. That's amazing.
Mandalorian is it's a
Yeah.
step in the right direction.
Clone Wars season 7, Tales of the Jedi. Whenever Dave
Mhm.
Filoni does something, it's good. He's the
Yeah,
Dave Filoni. He needs to have a higher position. He needs to do what he needs to do a movie. They need to allow him to do a movie. I don't know why, but they're hiring. I don't know if you heard, but there's the next Star Wars movie, 2027. I forgot who it's by, but there's these. It's a continuation of the sequels. What goes through? Okay, I'm about to go. What goes through their mind to make a continuation of the sequels when the sequels is the most hated trilogy of Star Wars? Why continue Rey and Finn's story when, to be honest, I'm not gonna watch that at cinema. I don't care if that's in the Star Wars movie. I'm not gonna watch it because the sequels to me make me freaking so angry because they just ruined the franchise. They took George Lucas's creation and they just say, "Oh, we just want to get close to $4 billion. Let's make 3 movies. First Force Awakens, 2 bill. Last Jedi 1.5, and then Rise of Skywalker 1.3. Number 7, episode 7, 2 bill. Episode 8, 1.5. Episode 9, 1.2. There was a decline there because people were like, "What the hell? This, yeah, why?" That makes me angry that the next Star Wars movie is probably going to be a continuation of the sequels. I'm sorry, but I know there's a lot of fans out there that love the sequels, but majority don't. And make something we all will enjoy. Makes something new. And I know
I am.
y'all are just gonna. I know you're just gonna go and say, "Oh well, Andor's new. You're not liking that." Make something new, but still Star Wars. Make us a Old Republic trilogy. Mm, just give
Yeah,
Dave a freaking movie. That's my
like
point.
I haven't I haven't paid much attention to it, but I assume that Tales of the Jedi has been getting a lot of like. Do we have reviews? Do you have the reviews for Tales of the Jedi?
I do, but it's not people's favorite thing because of how short it is. People are kind of
Obviously,
people, which annoys me, but people are kind of disregarding it. And
yeah,
yeah, I hope they continue Tales of Jedi and make it Clone Wars length form. and make Tales of the Sith. That would be really cool.
But if the problem is length, is that not fixable by just
It is,
like that's not a problem of
yeah.
do you know what I mean?
I do. I like they give Andor the highest, probably the highest budget of any Star Wars TV show, and then they give Obi-Wan the lowest budget of any TV show. Be- and Obi-Wan, they know Obi-Wan is gonna do amazing numbers. It's Obi-Wan. Everyone's gonna freaking watch Obi-Wan,
Yeah,
and we were all hyped for Obi-Wan, and then they gave us this really fan filmy freaking TV show that, yeah, it has some great moments, but overall it's really goofy snooze fest. Not snooze fest. It's really goofy. Freaking what the hell is happening?
yeah.
And
Something on Andor that I think helped its like struggle as a show was its formatting. Like the way that they did it is they had their 3 episode trilogies,
yeah,
their 3 episode storylines,
yeah,
and I think that's what made it struggle the most. Like if you look at people's excitement for episode 1 and 2, oh
mm,
sorry, 1 and 2 obviously were exciting because it's the new ones, but if you rewatch it, 1 and 2, and then three,
so boring.
three is a great episode.
Yeah,
4, 5, boring.
yeah.
6, great
It's like
episode.
it's like they
7,
do.
8,
Yeah, like they
like
have
when
the first two episodes of the arc boring, but we're still gonna wait because we know it's leading up to a third arc, third
yeah,
episode that's gonna be banger.
I think it allows the show to be um not lazier. Lazy is not the right word, but it allows the show to get away with a lot more, like with a lot less work. If you know what I mean? Because they know that people will keep watching it because of the hype of the third episode in that
Yeah,
um in that storyline
yeah,
out of the 3 episodes.
exactly.
Um, but like if you look at other TV shows, like once a week release TV shows, it builds. Every episode gets more exciting. Obviously, long seasons have filler episodes, but on the usual, it's building towards something, and the hype continues to go up.
Yeah,
Um, and so if you look at some of the bigger shows, like so, The Walking Dead just finished, and that yes, that it does have filler episodes, but it's all building to one thing
yeah,
each
exactly.
season.
It's just like
Um,
Cobra Kai. Like
Breaking
all the
Bad,
episodes,
yes, Cobra
yeah,
Kai,
it's like all the episodes come out at once, and we're gonna watch them back to back. And
yeah,
weekly episodes, they do it so people keep their subscription longer. Like 12
yeah,
episodes. That's 3 months nearly
yeah. Like,
of, and then that's okay. Subscription's $10 a month, and if that's $30 for just Andor. How many people do you reckon watched Andor? That
I think it has relatively. I think it's high. I mean, I don't know.
and
People just.
Obi-Wan had 1 point something billion hours.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
That's crazy.
That does not
That's
surprise me.
that's crazy. They made a
And
ton
yet,
off that because their budget was really low for that.
and yet, lowest lowest funds
Yeah,
for a TV
yeah,
series out of like. Are you kidding me?
yeah.
And then
Like you
Andor.
would think that they already know Kenobi is gonna make a ton. You would
So they're
think they
trying to
would
make as much
give,
profit.
yeah, you would think they would give it a bigger budget. One, for the fans. Two, it's Obi-Wan and Vader, Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor back. And three, yeah, it's Obi-Wan and freaking Vader.
See, here's the thing, right? Yes, Obi-Wan made them a lot of money, but now fans don't trust them. All right, you got to, as a company, what you need to do is invest in your fans to make them come back.
Yeah.
If you're telling me that after Obi-Wan and after Andor, that there's going to be a lot, you're going to have more fans return or more fans trust Star Wars as a brand now than what they did before. If Obi-Wan came out and was the best cinema, or the best like show, best Star Wars show, if it came out and it hit harder than Mandalorian, are you telling me that there's going to be less fans returning than what there was?
Exactly.
Like they have now, yes, they've made however much money off Obi-Wan. They've profited this much money, yes. But in the future projects, they will make less money because of it, because the fans trust them less. I trust them less. Star
Yep,
Wars as a brand has lost my trust in it.
exactly.
Andor
It
was a
has.
step in the right direction. Like, if you can, I understand the enjoyment out of Andor, but I don't have it, and as you said, nor do you.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
it didn't give me back my trust in the brand. George Lucas created something that was an investment for everybody. Yes, episode 1 and episode 2 were not the greatest.
But I love episode 1. I love them in Phantom Menace. Episode 2,
I think
it's
it's overhated.
yeah, definitely. Attack of the Clones, all the
I
Camino and clone stuff. That's cool. But the Anakin
Yeah,
and Padme stuff, oh bloody hell.
yeah. No, no, don't even get me started. Just watch the movie on mute. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, it just yes, they made a lot. They made X amount of money for Obi-Wan. They profited this much money, but now they're going to make less money on their movies because they're going to be like, people will now see, oh, Star Wars, oh, they ruined Obi-Wan for me. I'm not going to return.
Yep. And that's definitely happened with a lot of the fan base.
Yeah,
People were giving Obi-Wan another try after the sequels, like the OG, people that grew
yeah,
up watching Star Wars in the 1970s. After the sequels, obviously they're going to go and watch sequels. After the sequels, a lot of people stepped away and a lot of people came back for Obi-Wan. And now even more people have stepped away and even more people have permanently stepped away
yeah,
because I really think they need to move on from touching legacy characters because they just can't do a good job at it, and they're really just gonna ruin it for the fans. They need a
if if they were to do something with a legacy character, they need to do the utmost. Like, because
and
we've spoken about it a few times.
yeah,
Doing like Luke from Legends, right? Doing his
mm,
storylines, Tales of Luke Skywalker.
yeah.
As much as I want that, it'd have to be either for Dave or John,
Dave and
because
John, they need a.
anybody else I would not trust to do this.
I agree.
Do something like that.
They need to give these legacy characters the right budget, the right crew.
Yep.
Yeah, they're the two things they need: is the right crew and the right budget. Why didn't Dave and John do Obi-Wan?
I
I
don't know
don't know.
because
I don't know.
because Disney want to give everybody a chance. They like I'm not saying I. It may be
I
just because
understand that, but with a legacy character with Obi-Wan,
yeah,
leave it to the people that know Star Wars the best. If they want to give other people a go, female directors and stuff. Sure, I'm all for that. I'm all for that. But they can't let them go in there to a big show and then you know
yeah,
disappoint us fans. They start on little things and then we're us as fans like, oh my god, that's really good. Let's see more of her um directing or whatever. And then they can build up. You can't jump the ladder. You have to
yeah,
work your way up.
yeah. No, exactly. I completely agree. It's um. I mean, I'm sure that she would have done a better job if she had better funds.
Yeah, better
Um,
funds, a better rider, 100%.
yeah, like I'm sure she would have done a fantastic job.
Yeah.
And
Look what she
it's
did
not
on
her
Mando.
specifically. It's just yeah,
Yeah.
like it's not her. It's just what it it, it always goes higher up
It's
than
stuff.
what
Yeah, I was
we
about to say
know.
people higher up.
Um, and if she were to be attacked, if she were, I assume she was attacked for it because people on the internet are crazy.
Twitter,
Um,
man, freaking Twitter. I'm about to delete
uh,
that app. Oh, so people on Twitter, dude. Oh my god. Ah, it is
yes.
one. Oh my god.
Like, it always goes higher.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've lost my faith in Star Wars, and they need to work harder to get it back because Andor, as I said, is a step in the right direction. I think the director, what's his name, Tom.
What Andor
Uh,
finale?
no, 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 the director. Sorry, Tom. I'm blanking.
Tom, the director of what?
Andor.
What of the finale episode?
No, 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 just the entire series.
Oh, Tony
Um,
Gilroy.
Tony Gilroy. Yeah,
Tony Gilroy. Yeah.
I was thinking. For some reason I was thinking Tom. Yeah, I think he stay in the company. Maybe like yes,
Mm,
Andor should be his. I believe he should stay as
he's
Andor,
uh,
but he is different. Yes, I know what you're going to say. He's a different type of director.
right.
Him and his brother. His brother writes, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, his
Um.
two brothers. One's editor, one's writer.
Yeah. I think they're good. But we also haven't.
Um,
I don't know. I
I
do. I'm just scared of.
okay. I like
I'm scared of new
the
people.
yeah. I like Tony Gilroy trying something new. Like, he's a great filmmaker, but he's publicly said he doesn't like Star Wars.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, in many times he's publicly said he doesn't like Star Wars. And if you're gonna have someone creating a Star Wars show, film, Star Wars is nearly 50 years old, a nearly 50-year-old franchise. You need to have someone who loves the franchise.
Yeah.
You have you have that corporate business person, and then you need that good creative Star Wars fanboy, like Dave Filoni, perfect,
Yeah.
perfect guy. He loves Star
Well,
Wars. He's loved it since he was a kid.
yeah.
He worked. He got hired at Lucasfilm in 2008, I think. And
I wouldn't know.
yeah, he Tony Gilroy. Don't get me wrong. He is really talented, really creative. He is a very good filmmaker. But it's like Ryan Johnson. He's really talented, creative, good filmmaker. But when it comes to Star Wars, they need someone who loves it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
I do want to get your opinion on something. So say Bob Iger
Hmm.
becomes the next CEO and becomes the next big boss of Lucasfilm, right?
Of Lucasfilm.
Is he would he become Lucasfilm or was he become Star Wars?
What would I rather?
No. Like if say he became the big boss, right?
He's
Would
he's
you
the
rather him?
he's the CEO of Disney right now. He got rehired
Oh,
on
he is.
Sunday. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
The other guy got
okay,
fired and he got rehired
yeah.
Disney, CEO of Disney, in
And
charge
then
of
we're
everything.
just waiting for Kathleen to get
Get the boot. Indy
okay.
After Indy 5.
So would you rather have wait say another 5 years for a Star Wars movie, or would you rather then pump out something that isn't as good or has a chance to be less good depending on who's doing it? Like, but would you rather quality or quantity right now in what we have?
Quality.
Quality. You'd rather wait
They've
5 years for
Quality.
Star
They've
Wars.
been doing quantity with the TV shows, and they haven't been performing well.
Yep.
Not well. They've been performing, but they haven't been very good. Um, okay, what they need to do, I think Kathleen retires, someone else comes in. They have a meeting, a whole meeting, all the executives at Lucasfilm, and they talk about they plan the next decade. They plan the next 10 years of
Yep.
shows and movies. They start from scratch, and they go from there. Takes about, I would say they take 5 years to make the first movie. I know that's a long time, but the reason now I know a lot of people are probably going to say, "Oh, well, you just said earlier you want a Star Wars film ASAP." Kathleen has been at Lucasfilm since for a long time. She's been the president since Disney bought it, and they've made 5 movies. 2019 was the last one. They've had lots of time to create a Star Wars film. Since 2019, there was one meant to be coming out end of next year. It got cancelled. What pisses me the most off is that they cancel shows. They cancel and delay shows and movies.
Oh, they do
So,
games as well. Don't you worry about that.
and
I've kept
games.
up with a
Ah,
lot of cancelled
that
games.
cancelled and delayed games, movies, TV shows, everything. That's what triggers me the most. Why tell us a date and then change it or delete it?
Yep.
And they don't even say, "Oh, we're delaying something. Oh, we're canceling it." They just delete it from their slate. They don't actually inform us fans. So I reckon Kathleen goes, new person comes in, and they just sit down and they talk about the next 10 years of Star Wars, and they plan ahead, and they make sure they are organized, and they keep their promises. They make realistic deadlines. That's what I want. I'm mad that there hasn't been a
Yeah,
Star Wars film since 2019 because they've had the time and they're delaying and canceling stuff. But if someone new came in and the next film wasn't till, say, someone new came in today and the next film was coming out in 5 years today, I'd be absolutely fine with that because it's a new person coming in and they're going and they're making a realistic plan.
yeah. Um, I have a small theory that Disney are afraid to. Um, I think the reason that it's taken them so long is because they're working on so many shows.
Yeah,
Like, if I think they're
the
afraid
shows
to
really make
stop.
them more money.
I mean, I'm sure that they do, but I think that they're afraid to stop doing the shows to then give them more time on
That's
the
it.
movies.
That's it. Yeah,
I
definitely.
think they're just afraid of it.
It's
Like, if you stop swimming at all, you're just gonna.
that's it.
If
Yeah,
you slow down, at least in their heads, if they slow down, then they're screwed. They're not making any more money. But I think I don't know. I think someone needs a reboot, and I think they need to stop. They need to finish all their open
yeah,
projects right now.
I agree.
Close off, close off Mando. Close off all the animated series that they're doing,
Finish
and just
everything that's in production right now. Put a full stop on everything. Get new
exactly
people in the company. Restart. Click that
restart
reboot button.
from a different, just away from everything that we have right now.
That's it.
Um,
That's what they've got to do.
what you said before about them doing a continuation of the sequels, why?
It doesn't make
How?
sense. I reckon.
How? Why?
Do they know that if they make us Old Republic stuff, if they make us an Old Republic trilogy, that would make them a ton of money. If they really are just after money, make something good.
I don't like thinking of this for the last 10 seconds. Old Republic would be so much better because it brings back the fans of Legends, right? It brings back fans of
Exactly.
Legends that have watched the movies and are like,
Exactly.
"Ew, what are these movies?" Right? These Legends
Exactly.
fans, these which are the hardcore fans, which know everything about Star Wars.
Yep.
These fans will be like, "Damn, they're putting this like
Into canon.
amazing piece of scripture into a movie, into a
Yep.
live action movie."
And
And then the
make it
fans
canon as well.
who have,
Exactly.
yeah, and the fans who have only seen the sequels, like have only grown up with the sequels born, pre Revenge of the Sith, sorry, post Revenge of the Sith,
Post. Yeah.
um, like these fans who have had, uh, um, the sequels as prime Star Wars for them, will then get a taste of something else, and it'll show them that the sequels aren't it. I understand people like the sequels, but as you just said, we're 5 years away from 50 years.
Mm,
Star
exactly.
Wars has age groups between the ages of 80 and now 5,
Yep.
right? Like they need to just move on because more than people than not don't like the sequel. Less people like the sequels than more than they do, and just having, I mean, just going back to Old Republic or even like no, maybe not a story in Legends, not maybe not a specific story from Legends, but the Old Republic itself. They just need to go back. It's just it makes so much more sense in continuation, like continuing a story in which majority of the fan base did not enjoy.
Yeah.
I just can't fathom why.
Yeah. I 100% agree. And that's that's what I'm scared about with the Acolyte. The Acolyte's Old Republic. Sorry, High Republic. But High Republic Plagueis exists. I'm really scared that they are going to create a new Sith legend and confirm that Plagueis is Legends. Because at the moment, we don't actually know if Plagueis is canon or Legends. Maybe Palpatine was just making that up in Revenge of the Sith. I really am
Yeah,
praying.
Disney can do whatever they want.
I
Like
really
they can,
hope not, man. And
um,
I Acolyte. I'm really looking forward to it. But I'm scared they're going to. Yeah. It's like if they did Old Republic, they have to use Revan, Malgus. They have to use these legend um characters from from Legends, from George Lucas's Legends. They have to use those characters, they can't they because if they create someone new, we're not gonna care as much. Yeah, I know everyone says on new stuff, but when you're dealing with the old Republic, you have to use the legend characters. That's what I think. And then moving
I think
forward
at
in the
least to
Star Wars
start with.
universe, yes, you start with them, you build the old Republic up, and you can bring new characters in. But moving past Rise of Skywalker, do all you want. I would think they have full creativity there. But if they're going back, Old Republic, give us the characters that we know and love from the video games, the novels, the comics, and then branch off from them. They
Exactly.
have to
Like
be very careful with what they
that's what I
do.
mean. They have to earn our trust back.
Mm-hmm.
They have to give us a character in which we all know, so that it'll bring in people. Like right now, if Disney threw something at me and I had no idea about what it is, I wouldn't trust it.
No.
I would go see it because I have no reason not to like it either. But they need to throw a name at us. They need to give us something that we know, even if it say if it's a Revan movie, right? I think that'll do. I think that would do well,
Mm-hmm.
as
Make
in bringing in numbers.
it would definitely make a whole
Um,
trilogy. Make three trilogies of Old Republic. I don't know.
yeah,
Just name it. You could literally name it the Old Republic, and then each trilogy is focused on a different era in the Old Republic. The Old Republic goes on for tenths of thousands,
yeah,
hundreds, millions of years. The Old Republic is literally, you could go all the way back. They could do so much, and there's so many characters there that branch out. There's Revan, there's Melgus, there's heaps. There's Bane. Bane would be a cool one to see. We get him a little bit
uh,
in the
yeah.
Clone Wars, so he's canon. Do something for him.
I don't know. It's just they need that big red reset button,
They
and
do. They need
they
to.
just need to have the
They need to
balls to
finish.
press it.
They need to finish producing everything they're doing right now, and then just stop everything. Just have a freaking just click the stop red button. Finish everything they're doing now, and then stop. No more shows. No more movies. Actually think about what you guys are doing, and then go from there. You
Yeah.
need to stop and realize what they're actually doing.
See, something that I thought of that they probably that might benefit them is um like outsourcing Star Wars to a smaller company, like pushing it away from Disney. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
we've kind of seen in the past few years with more so Marvel and Star Wars. Those are the two big ones that Disney have focused on lately. Um, they struggle from being Disney things, like Disney, like um, owned by Disney. They struggle. We've seen that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that both companies, but in this case, Star Wars needs to be excluded from Disney's umbrella of ownership. Like it needs to be just pushed away to a different side. Give it to a different company, or just move Lucasfilm away and let them do their thing. Just let Lucasfilm just do their thing. Um, like Disney still makes the money and whatever, but just don't have so much Disney control over it.
I
And I
agree.
think undisneyfy it. That's it. Just undisneyfy it.
I agree. And I definitely agree. They need to, Disney. Yeah, I definitely agree. Disney need to take a step back, let Lucasfilm be its little company once again,
Yeah,
and let them have full control. And Disney can
exactly.
take the profits, do what they want, but let Lucasfilm be its little thing again. But that's never gonna happen. It's Disney. It
Yeah,
really
yeah.
gonna hope.
No, it's the same with Marvel. Like
Oh, on Marvel, yeah. I watched the She-Hulk
it's
finale yesterday,
yeah,
and dude, what the hell? No, like, what the hell? I don't. It's, oh my god. It was. Bro, She Hulk came out of the Disney Plus freaking screen and was in real. It was so whack.
and
I.
even the camera has a hat too for Kevin Feige.
Oh. It was so. What the hell? How did. How was that approved? I'm sorry, but like. Oh,
I thought you
I
were talking
was.
about the kid, but yeah, I
Oh,
didn't. Yeah, no.
and
I
and
haven't
and,
watched it. I
and
don't plan on
freaking
watching it.
Hulk's son Scar.
Yeah,
Biggest opportunity missed there. Why the hell does he look like that? What the hell's wrong with his head? He looks so sick
that's what
in
I
the
mean.
comics, and then they. Oh,
Disney. I think I'm worried that Disney are going to ruin Deadpool.
oh, dude, I'm scared. Yeah, I'm really excited
Um,
for Deadpool 3. It's gonna do
but
amazing,
also
but
if Deadpool does really well as Deadpool,
it's coming into the
like
MCU.
if it's unchained, if he's still the same Deadpool, and it does really well, I really hope that kind of switches Disney to be like, oh, we have an older fan base than what we think. Maybe we can like not be so childish.
Yep, I agree.
Um,
And with yeah, because Deadpool 1 and 2, obviously
being absolutely
little
nuts.
yeah, Deadpool 1 and 2, little kids obviously can't watch that. Um, so bringing him in, I hope they yeah, it's going to be a different Deadpool's because he's coming through the multiverse into the MCU. But I really think this multiverse, what they're doing with the multiverse, is getting out of hand with all these characters because they're gonna get. We're gonna get confused as fans of what the hell's happening, what characters real, what characters from the MCU. It's gonna get way too confusing, and I feel like there's so many Marvel projects and movies and TV shows. I feel like because there's so many, um, and I highly doubt that all the filmmakers from each show and movie are gonna talk to each other and say what's happening. I feel like the filmmakers are gonna end up getting confused, and they're gonna stuff something up which won't make sense with the MCU. The multiverse is really they've got to be really careful with that.
They do.
They could screw it up
Um,
very very easily.
oh, it's so easy to come up with plot
They
holes.
they have to do a very good job with that, and I don't think they'll be able to do it. It's like
I kind of
from No Way Home, and Peter doing Doctor Strange doing the spell and then opening up the multiverse. That was cool, but if they're gonna make the multiverse still open, because obviously the end credit scene we got Venom. Um,
The
now
only reason that
Venom's
Venom was in that was because when Toby gets stabbed at the end of it, they had a plan to use the Venom symbiote to save him.
okay.
Toby was supposed to wear the black suit in No Way Home.
Not
That's
gonna
the
hear.
only reason that in Venom he gets transported into the other universe. That's the
Into
only
the
reason, and then they
MCU.
decided not to.
Huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
at
Well,
least that's what I was.
they've got to be
That's
really
what
careful with what they
it
do.
said.
Yeah.
They do. I think I think what they should do, what Disney should do, or what Marvel should do is after this Kang dynasty, right? Because they can't go much further than this in power leveling.
Hmm.
Like we go from She-Hulk, who yes is very strong, but in comparison to a lot of other people in the MCU, it's nothing, right? Um, so the power rankings are so divided. I think what they need to do is after this next phase, or not for another phase, after this next big bad, once whatever they're doing with Kang the Conqueror is over,
Hmm.
I
Like
think they
Secret
need to
Wars and
do
stuff.
their own type of. Yeah, I think they need to hit their own kind of flashpoint, which is their own reset button. They need to go back and something goes wrong, and now we're not in the timeline that we are now. So we have different characters. So we have a new Iron Man played by a new character, obviously,
Yeah.
IDJ forever, right?
Yeah.
But just hit their own reset button, reboot it, because that's what Flashpoint is. Flashpoint is Barry in DC. I don't know how much you know about it, but Flashpoint is Barry going back and saving his parents, and then he decides that's bad, and then everything's gone wrong, and so then he
Yeah.
tries to go back and reset it to normal timeline, but then things change.
Yeah.
Like the animated Flashpoint TV series, it's Thomas Wayne that's Batman instead of Bruce. Thomas dies. Ah, sorry, Bruce dies in the alley instead of
Hmm.
Thomas. So Thomas is now Batman, his dad. And things like that.
Hmm.
But I
Yeah.
think they need to hit their own reset button after this whole thing because the power leveling is just going to be so difficult to maintain. Like having small ranged people, and then like we saw a little bit in Endgame where you have Okoye is standing next to Captain Marvel, right?
Mm.
I love Okoye, but
Yeah,
I think they're just getting too crazy, and I think later soon they need to reset that. But um,
100%. They have to be
Disney
very
Disney are
careful.
just too afraid to reset everything. They need to reset Star Wars,
They
but they're
do.
afraid.
Yeah, and that's a shame because if they actually really think about it, they can actually make stuff that we generally want and enjoy.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I want to move on from Star Wars now. 54 minutes of talking about Star Wars, Marvel, and stuff. So yeah, Andor season one. Jumping back to the start now. I'm not gonna go through it again, but I don't want to drag out us talking about Star Wars anymore. But yeah, just Lucasfilm. Please finish your shows you're doing now, and then click the big red stop button. Have a think about what you're doing. Move on, and and actually take things one step at a time. That's my final say. Star Wars. Do you have any last words before we move on?
No, I think that's it. Just
Yeah,
yeah, like Disney, you either got to gain our trust back or just press that big red button and work it out from there. Because there's not much more that that your fans can take without just leaving entirely. Because
yeah.
after the sequels, just it's been a decline. Mostly, there's been jumps, but mostly it's been a decline. So you got to do. I don't know.
I 100% agree, and
Invest in the fans.
yeah, that's what they're going to do, and future will be very interesting. I don't think it's going to improve. But have high hopes. But if we have high hopes, then we're bound to be disappointed. So,
Yeah.
what does MJ say in Spider Man? Expect disappointment, and you won't be disappointed. So anyway, we're gonna move on. World Cup, FIFA World Cup, Rugby League World Cup, and yeah. If you guys aren't interested in that, well, thank you for listening to our little Star Wars Andor Season 1 review and talking about a little bit of Marvel there. But FIFA World Cup, it's started, and let's look at how the teams are going, how the country's going. Okay, now the FIFA World Cup it started 2022, and I've watched 3 or 4 games now. And it's doing its usual teams are doing usually as they do. But Argentina, this is a big one. Uh, Argentina, their biggest upset, losing to Saudi Arabia 2-1 their first game. Not a good start for Argentina, and very unexpected for Saudi Arabia. They had like a 2.5% chance of winning. But Argentina's team really is falling apart. Poor Messi, man, it's probably his last World Cup, and I really did want Argentina to win this year. I I think they were favourites. They were close to being favourites or something. But Argentina, I don't know if they're going to be able to. I don't think they're going to be able to win. If they can't beat Saudi Arabia, how are they going to beat teams like Brazil and England? Um, yeah. So Spain, I think Spain have a good chance this season. Brazil, um, not Portugal, friggin'. You hear what happened with Ronaldo at Man U?
Yeah, no, he
He's
did a whole
gone.
interview with Piers Morgan
Yeah,
and Man United didn't like that. Um,
yeah.
I have he might go back to Real. He has a few clubs he's going to go to. Sadly, Arsenal said that they don't want him, even though me being an Arsenal fan, I would have liked him, but not that much. I'm not crying
Bro,
about it. But
he's overrated. Cristiano Ronaldo's overrated.
he's 37, man. He's going to be overrated.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
Yeah, I guess.
but so yeah, for so our opening one was Qatar versus Ecuador. This is a big game because Qatar is obviously the host. This is the first
Host
time
this
that a
year.
host, yeah, this is the first time that a host has ever lost a game.
Yeah.
Um,
I Qatar has the population of Brisbane.
yeah, no,
It's so small.
This is the first time that a host has lost a game. This is also the first time the team in a 90-minute game has never had a shot on target in the World Cup.
Dang.
Um, yeah. So
That.
Ecuador wins 2-0, I believe. Both were by Valencia.
Yep.
Um, and then the second game was England versus Iran.
I
England beat
watched that.
Iran 6-2.
6-2. I.
Bukayo Saka scored a brace. Brace means 2 goals.
Mhm.
Um, very proud of him. One was a whopping left foot from a corner, from a crossing, and the other one he cut inside and just snuck it bottom corner. That's also he's the youngest to score 2 goals in the World Cup. He's scored more than both Wayne
Wow.
Rooney and Post goals for England.
Good on him. That's, yeah.
Yeah, he's 20 years old. He's
That's. Wow.
uh, Bukayo Saka, Arsenal,
That's crazy.
Arsenal boy. Deserves number 7, but Jack Grealish got that. He scored as well. Um, the next game was Senegal versus Netherlands. Netherlands beat Senegal 2-0.
2-0. Yeah. What
Yep.
Salah's owners? Your
Yeah.
average World Cup
USA
game.
versus Wales.
Was it Jabril?
Yeah, Wales scored a penalty. USA scored
Oh,
first, and Wales scored a penalty to draw it up. Gareth Bale got
bro.
that. Very nice.
Bro, USA in like playing soccer, football, really just like it's like weird
Uh,
because you never like USA. No one freaking plays soccer over there. Football, everyone just
yeah.
NFL and
Something that you should
baseball.
look up. It's kind of cringy, but it's funny. If you look up at USA chants versus English chants in football, it's hilarious because USA they have these little like their chants are just nothing in comparison to English chants at the stadiums.
Yeah.
Like um I've heard one where the English are just calling a football player a nonce, which is a pedophile. That player was on the field. I'm not sure. I'm not saying he is or isn't, but like when 10,000 people are screaming at you that you're a pedophile, I mean that's just kind of crazy.
That's kind. Yeah. That's.
Yeah, as you just said, Argentina lost to Saudi Arabia.
Oh,
I believe
dude.
there was a lot of offsides for Argentina.
Oh, Argentina scored 3 goals offside. 2 or 3 goals
Yeah,
offside.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Denmark versus Tunisia. I expected Denmark to do better there.
Yeah, only won 1-0.
No, it was 0-0.
Was it?
Tunisia,
Oh,
yeah, it was another draw.
it was a draw.
Tunisia, I did not think would have been in that game a lot more. Mexico versus Poland. This was a good game because to keep it drawn, Ochoa, Mexico's goalkeeper, there's kind of a meme around him where he just shows up in the World Cup. People don't even know what club he plays for, but he shows up in the Cup and is just like the best goalkeeper. He saved a goal. He saved a penalty shot from Robert Lewandowski, who great striker, and kept it 0-0.
Wow, lots of draws.
France versus Australia.
Oh,
Australia beat them 70-0. So
yeah.
yeah, no. 4-0. Australia did score
No,
first,
no,
but
no,
then
no. It wasn't 4-0.
four,
We
four sorry,
scored.
4-1.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
4-1.
I was gonna say, bro. I'm happy we scored.
We scored first.
Yeah, we did, and we got
And
a
then
open a what's it called? Open field goal, like during time, like not a penalty goal.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Don't do
yeah,
that
it
much.
was a fairly good goal, but then
Yeah,
France is just too class.
yeah. France is France.
Um
But yeah,
Japan beats Germany. The Axis powers up against each other.
yes, that was
Um
another.
that was a big upset.
Yeah.
Japan's goalkeeper apparently turned into like he went Super Saiyan and just saved like 5 shots in like
Yeah.
30 seconds. So good on Japan. The next 0-0 game was Morocco versus Croatia. I couldn't imagine that would have been too exciting. And then Spain versus Costa Rica, 7-0 to Spain.
Jesus, I didn't know that
Yeah,
one. I was gonna. Oh, I wanted to
yeah,
watch that game. It was like 5 a.m. this morning. I'm pretty sure.
yeah. No, that
Seven
was today.
nil
7-0 to Costa Rica. Uh,
to
and then
Costa Rica. Wait, no, to Spain.
Spain scored 7 against Costa
Yeah,
Rica.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Jesus. No, I did.
Belgium versus Canada.
Jesus.
Belgium wins 1-0.
Oh, that's
Um,
okay. Cool,
and
Canada.
then the games that we have later today is Switzerland versus Cameroon, Uruguay versus South Korea, Brazil versus Serbia,
Go
Portugal
Brazil.
versus Ghana.
Upper
Um,
Brazil.
my guesses are Switzerland to win, Uruguay to win, Brazil to
Brazil
win,
to
and
win.
Portugal to win.
Yeah.
Those are my tips. Um,
If Brazil and Argentina go through from the group stage, They are expected to meet in the semi.
Yeah. So
To be
yeah, that reminded me of a little bit of trivia I was going to tell you about. So if Argentina make it to the final, that final game, I believe, will be Messi's 1,000th game.
yo, if they make it to the final, and that could be
If
his
they make
last
if
World Cup as well game ever if he
No,
makes it to.
it probably will be his last
Yeah,
World Cup. So if Argentina can make it to the final, um, that will be Messi's 1,000th game.
they've got to pick up there because
They do. Hey, it's a slow start, and Saudi Arabia are an underrated side. Like, no, they're not fantastic, but um, it will be a hard group for them. Saudi Arabia, Poland, Mexico, and Argentina.
yeah,
Um, they need to step up their game, yeah, but also I think they were unlucky with the amount of offside that they had. Um, they have new VAR, and it's very strict.
yeah. See, that's
So
just thing. Like technology is ruining like the game of sport. I feel like yeah, it makes it more accurate, but
yeah, like if you look at most sports,
it's like
like the
cricket
NRL,
now as well.
the bunker in the NRL is awful.
Uh,
If you look watching the the Premier League, there's been some terrible calls in VAR there.
yeah,
Um, so this is an upgraded version. It's a lot faster. It was helped by Arsene Wenger, who was the ex French and the ex Arsenal manager. And we'll see. That's just yeah. Let's hope that I want England to win it because there's a few Arsenal boys in there. Obviously want Australia to win it, but that's not likely. If England are not to, Argentina because I'm a Messi fan.
are you? I'm a Neymar fan. I'm going for Neymar.
Oh no,
Like
I can respect it. I can
I
respect it.
know a lot of people don't like Neymar, but I've always loved Neymar. Got oh,
Oh, I
where
can
is it?
respect it. But out of the greatest of all time debates, I think Messi takes it. He's 100 games
If
behind Ronaldo and he's 9 goals off him.
whoever's watching this on YouTube, if you look at my camera right now, I got my Neymar little figurine right in the corner behind my head. It's right in frame.
Yeah.
I got so much Brazil stuff, and when he played in
No,
Barca, bro.
I can respect it. I can respect it. Gabriel Martinelli and he's playing for I believe he got called up for the Brazil team and he deserves it. But yeah, no, it's going to be a good World Cup. It's a shame that
Yeah,
Qatar has been they're not very acceptable of a lot of people.
no,
They've been
and yeah. Did you see at the end of the Japan game the Japanese spectators they started cleaning the grounds. They started cleaning up.
no, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
That's
it
odd.
was. It really shows like their culture, I guess. So that you know, but that's yeah, it's odd, but very yeah. They started cleaning up like the whole stadium.
Yeah, well, no, yeah, no, I didn't know that. But there's been officials seen taking off rainbow things off of
Oh,
people, which
the
could, yeah, no, Qatar said that they would be acceptant of everybody and they wouldn't take away like rainbow flags or whatever, like stuff like that. But there's been like multiple, right? I think there was a rainbow hat. There's somebody had a flag, somebody had a shirt.
like
There's been multiple
if they got
cases
their
of that.
rainbow stuff, then let them be. Like who? Like why do you care? Like
It's just their
I don't
religion.
know.
Like I'm not going to tell them not to.
I guess
It's
it's
their
their
religion.
religion,
I
their
don't agree with
culture.
it, but yeah, exactly. But Qatar said that's not the problem I have. Qatar said that they weren't going to do that, and
Yeah,
now they're just double backing on it because now that
yeah,
the
that's
World Cup's there. Um, but FIFA have come out and stated that there was a CEO of FIFA who had come out and stated that he regrets Qatar
FIFA's
being the World Cup.
FIFA's as corrupt as freaking Disney now.
um, but who do you believe is gonna have it this year?
These
Who's gonna have the World Cup? Brazil?
uh, I'm going for Brazil.
Going for Brazil?
I think so. I
Yep.
I'm always gonna think it's Brazil. I Spain maybe. My two teams are for Spain and Brazil. Obviously, I'm going for good old Australia. Obviously, got to root for your own country, but I mean, we won't have
If
a
we make it out of the
chance.
group stages, I'll be happy. But I
Yeah,
doubt we will.
Group. If we make our group stage, be proud of us. But if talking realistically, Spain or Brazil, yeah,
Yeah, I think
Argentina. I was, but I don't. I don't. Just it's gonna take them some time to really grip.
yeah, I think that both Netherlands and Belgium are dark horses in it.
Oh, yeah.
Um, I think
France.
Uruguay's a dark horse.
Yeah,
I think
France aren't gonna do as good this year because they got a lot of their players injured.
they do. They have about
A
six
lot of
players
their
injured. They've
players
got
injured.
so they've
Pogba.
got Pogba, Kante, Varane, Kunde, Camavinga, Benzema.
Yeah.
I'm
At
not
least they
sure if
still got
Dembele is.
Mbappe.
Yeah, but Mbappe
Mbappe.
is
I like Mbappe. He's a good player. He's young. He's still pretty young.
so annoying.
You don't like him?
The team has to be the way he wants it to be, or he doesn't
I like
like it. Like
Mbappe.
he's very selfish. Apparently, like on the field, he has been seen to be very selfish.
Really?
Yeah,
I like Mbappe
like he took a penalty off Messi just because
in PSG.
yeah, PSG
What?
at club
Messi's a
level.
freaking penalty taker. He's
I,
freaking.
I don't know. I don't know all of it, but apparently he's been very like sappy and just very no. He apparently he chucks tantrums. Um,
Oh well.
but um, yeah, I think Uruguay have a I think Uruguay are a dark horse that people underestimate. But let me have a look. That was a team. Oh yeah, no, I do. I kind of think that England are going to take it. I think England just have too much class, and also they're going to do it for Izzy. They're going to do it for the Queen.
Oh yeah. I was about to say, who's Izzy? But yeah, I realize now.
Queen Elizabeth.
I'm
They're gonna
sorry.
do it.
England is so up themselves.
Oh yeah,
I don't want
yeah,
England to win.
definitely.
I mean, I don't think England will win. England's like,
I
yeah, England is like, you could say, arguably the home of football. It's the Premier League, arguably
It's not,
biggest,
but
it's got the biggest
yeah, it is
league.
meant to be.
But
Yeah.
it, England, nah, I don't think so. I want Brazil to get their sixth World Cup. Pele had three, Neymar had two, or Neymar had one. No, no, I don't know.
I couldn't tell you.
Let's ask
Um,
Siri. Siri, has Neymar won two World Cups?
Here's what I found.
Ah. Hey Siri, how many World Cups has Neymar won?
Here's an answer from Wikipedia.org. The Brazil national football team has won the FIFA World Cup 5 times, the
Yeah.
most of any team, in 1950,
pretty sure he's only got one
2002.
because they do it every 4 years.
Yeah, only one, I reckon, because
Yeah. I know Danny Alves, who is an ex-Barcelona right back. He has won. He has won literally every trophy you can. Um, on like a league level, like only being at Barcelona, he has won World Cup, Euros, League Cup, Champions League. Um, yeah, I'm blanking, but he's only won one World Cup, I believe. So I
no,
assume
I
Neymar won more.
lied. Name is 1-0. Wait, what?
Low.
That doesn't. What? I swear he had won all my life. I've been lied to.
It might be a Euro. He might have had it. Oh no. He might have Copa America.
That's what it is. Neymar.
Yeah, it's Copa America. That's the South American trophy. Argentina won that last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, he said. The
Um,
Brazilian striker has never. The Brazilian star has never featured for the national side at the Copa American or World Cup final. So he's never
oh well,
been there. So he's been on the team, but he's never been at the final.
yeah,
What
because
a
he gets
dum dum.
injured. Like,
Oh. Freaking how much time does he spend on the ground? Jesus.
yeah. No, I think England. are going to take it home.
Yeah, really, you
That's just.
reckon?
I don't know. I'm just biased because
Okay,
the
no,
Kurosaka
yeah.
is my star boy.
Okay, we'll see.
He's
We
my
will
he's my
see.
background on my phone.
What do I have in my background? Mine's space. Look at that.
How boring.
Hey, space, bro. I love space. I want to create like a space podcast. How fun would that be? Chat, there are people comment space podcast one day, bro. I love
What do we have to go?
astronomy.
Do we have to go to space for it?
Oh yeah, let's just go to the. Let's go to go to the moon. You know,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah.
first people on the moon
First
because
podcast on the moon.
no first
Can we
people on
start a
the moon.
GoFundMe?
Yeah, everybody, we're gonna be the first humans on the moon because no one's ever been to the moon. What?
No.
1969.
That's
What? That was all fake. That was in a studio. I'm joking. Don't cancel me for saying that. People are gonna clip that
if you
3 second
spell.
thing.
Okay. Spell Neil A because it's Neil Armstrong who was the first man on the moon. If you go Neil A because A is the first
Yeah.
letter of his name. Spell that backwards.
Kneel backwards with an.
Neil with an A at the end.
That's ALAENA.
You
EN.
didn't spell. You didn't spell
How do you spell
Neil right.
Neil? NEAL.
EI.
NE. No, it's an I. I'm an idiot. Chat. And is it NEILE?
Yes.
Okay.
No,
Yes.
no E at the end. No E at the end.
So NEILA.
Yep.
If you had the A in it. So that's ALIEN. Alien.
Yeah.
He's an alien. Yo.
That took you too long to figure out, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
that.
confirmed.
He's an alien. Guys, he's
Guys,
from the moon.
If you don't hear from either of us, it's because the government found us.
Yeah, guys, if you haven't heard from us, if there's no podcast episode in December, then, or for the rest of eternity, then you know where we are. We're not on Earth anymore. Been taken.
Yeah. Just wait until we get break free, and then we'll make our podcast on the moon. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I think that's it for the World Cup for now. I think we
100%, yeah.
there's not a lot to
No,
go on
still
since it's
games
only been the
to
first
go
round.
for. Yeah.
But we can probably just go straight onto the Rugby World Cup.
Rugby World Cup, let's keep it in the same segment. If you ain't care about Rugby World Cup because Rugby League is getting a bit stupid, I did not watch Rugby League World Cup, then you can head on out. Thanks everyone for listening. But we are talking about Rugby League World Cup. I have no idea what happened. I have no idea. I know Australia won, but I was gonna watch it, but
So,
okay, I've got the scores up
so-
now, but
to go into the semi-finals, it was Australia versus New Zealand. Australia just scraped through.
yeah,
I wasn't able to watch that game.
16-14.
And then it was Samoa versus England, and Samoa won by 1 point, which was an extra time field goal from Stephen Crichton that came off the back of an England forward pass. It was very lazy. It shouldn't have happened. Absolutely heartbreaking for England because it was such a lazy forward pass, and it gave Samoa the ball on like around the 40-meter line,
Yeah,
and they just ran it forward.
the first game of the Rugby League World Cup was England versus Samoa, and England won 60-6.
Oh wow!
And so the semi-final, they 26-27, and England won.
Yeah,
Week 1 of 3, England versus Samoa, 60-6.
yeah.
What?
I completely forgot about that, but yeah, that's amazing, and
Crazy.
So
Bro,
those two games got them into the finals, and congratulations to Samoa. This was their first finals ever, I believe. And
can I just butt in now? I'm looking at the
Yeah.
scores. Week 2 of 3, Australia versus Scotland. Scotland
you haven't seen these, have
0,
you?
Australia 84. What's the world record for freaking winning?
I'm not sure. I believe it's over 90.
84 nil.
Check the World Cup because league is more competitive.
Yeah, well,
So that's higher than I think any league game margin. But by World Cup standards, that's pretty average. Well, not average. But that's like
the biggest
not
one was
uncommon.
110-4.
Jesus.
Who was it?
Okay.
Australia against who? Australia against Russia. Jesus.
Damn.
Australia won
Ru-
110-4 against Russia. Russia
Russia
losing.
0, Russia 0, Australia 1.
Putin, don't blow us up, please. I'm sorry.
It was a joke. It was on a joke. But yeah, no, congratulations to Samoa for making the finals. It was their first finals.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was their first finals.
Yeah, did
And like,
did you see or so many cars had Samoan flags?
oh, it's been crazy. I love the
Bro.
passion. I love the patriotism, but not at 3 in the
Yeah.
morning when I'm trying to sleep.
Yeah. No,
Um, no, there was a parade after the England game, and they had fireworks going, and it was 4 in the morning, and I just
Oh.
couldn't get to sleep because it wasn't that far away from me. It was at a park, not too far away, and then yeah, it was dead silent after the game after the finals game. It was dead quiet, but they still did the parade, and good on them for that. Like that's passion, that's patriotism for your country.
Yeah.
And Samoa deserves it. Like they got all the way to the finals. They versed England. They versed Tonga to get there. Like they weren't easy teams, but Australia is just too classy. 30-10. Tedesco scores a double. Like Josh had a card. I didn't get on the board, which I was very disappointed for. But they just Australia was just on their game. Like everybody played a part, and you can. There were some bad calls. Like Tedesco did hit it onto the line, and it should have been a Samoa ball. I don't know how the referee missed that. Ashley Klein, I believe he was the referee. He's a bum. Do not like Ashley Klein, and also the elbow from Angus Crichton maybe should have been a send off, but I still believe that Australia would have had it, even if it was 12 against 13, because Australia just have the class. Like, I'm sure that the game would have been a different story if Anthony Milford didn't have to go to dummy half after because so what happened was Angus Crichton, it was dead play. They dropped it was a knock on, and Angus Crichton picked it up, and a Samoa player ran at him, and Angus put his arm up, and the Samoa player got an elbow to the face and got knocked out cold.
Oh.
Right, because it was dead play, it was because the game was stopped. Angus did get sin binned for 10 minutes. I can agree with either sin bin or send off because there was a Samoa player running at you in dead play. Like, if the player is running at you, I still believe that you were allowed to defend yourself. But yes, it was an elbow to the face that knocked him out. Like, cold. Like, he fell flat. It wasn't with force, he just put it up. But because elbow made contact with his face, I could have agreed with the send off, but I still think Australia had too much class.
Yeah.
They did everything right. Defensively, just perfect. Latrell Mitchell, the Hamburglar, he's a big boy. He outmuscled about 5 Samoans and just got the ball down. I just think Australia has too much class and just has too much, like, they're just so well together that even if there was a send off, I still think they would have been able to do it. There wasn't any players who I thought did poorly in the match. In Samoa, congratulations for getting there, but Australia is just too big of a powerhouse. I'm pretty sure it was their 3rd year in a row that they won it. And it was an interesting World Cup. It was good, and I loved it because I haven't watched the World Cup before.
Yeah, this was the first year I didn't watch Rugby League World Cup.
Yeah. And, I really enjoyed it. I hated that it was at that time of the morning every time.
Yeah, was it played at? It was played at Old Trafford, eh?
Yeah, that's Man United's stadium.
Yeah.
Cool. Which is no longer Ronaldo's home, so
Yeah. I'm looking at the scores again, and I thought 84-0 was freaking good. England beat Greece 94-4.
Yep.
Oh, jeez, man. I mean, but like you look at the table, like obviously Australia, England, Samoa, New Zealand, they're gonna be doing better.
Yeah.
Like they're
if you
really
also look
no
at it,
competition in the Rugby League World Cup.
I think England was a
4
standout
teams.
side because England only had about 3. I can only think of 2 players in the rugby league. So, 3. So there's Dominic Young, who's a winger for Newcastle. There's Herbie Farnworth, who was a centre for the Broncos. And there's Victor Radley, who is a lock for the Roosters. Those are the only three I can
Right.
think of who played for the England squad that play NRL.
Yeah.
Every other the big
The
successful teams like New Zealand, Samoa, England, they all
yeah.
had heavily NRL experienced players. Like the entire Australia team is NRL players. New Zealand has majority NRL players. Samoa had
Yeah.
majority Panthers players.
Yeah. But the Burgess brothers when they were playing, they were with
Yes.
England.
Oh, yeah. I'm not sure if I'm not
Yeah,
sure if
because there's only
Sam
one
played.
left, isn't there? There's only one Burgess brother left.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one it is. I'm pretty sure Tom Burgess is the one who retired. Sam
Okay.
Burgess is.
Sam Burgess is done. Girl Semi.
Yeah. Um. So it was a good game, and Samoa did do well, and obviously it was unfortunate that their number 9 got knocked out. I can't think of his name for the life of me. He plays for the Warriors. Um. Yes, it was very unfortunate, and the game probably would have gone differently if Anthony Milford didn't have to go at dummy half.
Yeah.
But um, I'm excited for the next one. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's 4 years in between World Cups for
I
the
think
NRL.
it's
2.
I think it's two because I swear the last one was.
Mm, No, no. I
Yeah.
think they were both supposed to do one in 2020, but because
Oh,
of
but
COVID.
because of COVID.
Mm, I'm really not sure, but yeah, no. So have the World Cup being back, football being back.
It's
Um,
every. It takes place every 4 years.
oh damn it! I'm gonna
What's
wait
four
until
years?
2026.
Huh. Wait, when was the last one?
2018.
Okay. Yep. Everything's every 4 years. The Olympics in 2024. Only a 3 year gap for that because Olympics cancelled 2020. And then 2032, it's coming to us. We're not gonna
Mm,
survive. Well, we're not gonna
nah,
survive. What the heck?
everything is gonna go up in price like crazy.
Oh, dude. We ain't gonna
But
survive.
it'll be good. It'll be good for the economy.
Yeah. It'll be a good experience.
Might
2032.
actually go.
Yeah, 100%.
It'll be cool. Definitely be cool to see. I'm not much of an Olympics fan, but
I only
I'll
like
definitely
the.
give it a watch.
Yeah, I only like the track and field stuff.
Swimming. I like swimming. I
I
do a
like
lot of
swimming's
swimming
good.
at
I
home.
watch the swimming. Um, the boxing is pretty mid at the boxing at the Olympics.
Yeah.
Soccer is pretty mid. Yeah, track and field swimming.
Yeah. Also, the Gillaroos, the females Australian team, beat the New Zealand Ferns by 54-4, I think. So it's a double for Australia. And England did win the wheelchair World Cup.
Okay, cool.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
okay, cool. That's good. You brought up them
yeah.
because
I didn't it just crossed my mind.
yeah, no, no, no.
Yeah,
That's
but
good.
like rugby is it's getting really worldwide. I'm
Yeah, like
glad.
Italy is in it. Freaking a lot of much
Yeah,
more teams now. Countries, I should say. Um, yeah, they got 16.
sorry.
16
Oh, okay.
countries.
Yeah, that's
Who
pretty
did
good.
the worst?
Um,
Greece. Points difference negative 180. Tough.
Jesus.
Jamaica negative 170. Scotland negative 124. Wales negative 68.
Yeah, it's rugby's growing and it's great because
Yeah,
I do think it's a great sport and it's a shame that it's taking this long, but obviously it
it's
won't
fun.
grow to the limits that football, like
Yeah,
soccer
no
has,
way.
or cricket or tennis or
No way.
golf. But it is a very good sport, and Union has always overshadowed it. Um,
I don't.
which
Yeah, I don't watch Union much. I don't. I used to watch the
I've been getting
league.
into it, so
I used to watch rugby league a lot, but like the NRL season. But and this season, 2022, I didn't watch it much.
yeah.
Just, yeah. I miss the OG plays.
Yeah, yeah, no, I understand that.
But yeah. The OG Maroons team. But that's basically it. Looking at the run sheet now, we don't have really anything else. FIFA World Cup, Rugby League World Cup, that's done. You got anything else? Because well, I didn't even watch the Rugby League World Cup.
No, I think that's it. There was a few standout players. Like Jerome Lowe did really well for Samoa. Brian To'o is always good. Stephen Crichton has had I think this is Stephen Crichton's best season. Between club and country. In Australia, just Josh Adokar, always great. The Ferrari.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
James Tedesco was quiet for some of the earlier games, and then he really stood up in this last game. Nathan Cleary I said originally that I would have preferred Daly Cherry Evans next to Munster.
Right.
But Nathan Cleary just stepped up. Nathan Cleary is my number 7.
Bro, I definitely prefer Daily over. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
But
I do,
it works.
but I don't.
Yeah.
Munster was quiet. I think Munster was quiet. Harry Grant, Ben Hunt, all great throughout the. I think. Yeah, Benny Hunt. He played. I think what Australia did so well was they worked as a team. Yes, they were all standout players. Like everybody in that starting squad is a standout player.
Mhm.
But just nobody was like that guy who carried the team. Everybody did their job, and everybody did their job the way that they're meant to. And that's the reason I think they did so well. Like James Tedesco, class. Josh Adokar is class. Valentine Holmes, Latrell Mitchell. I'm blanking. Who played on the other side?
I wouldn't have a clue.
Um. Oh, I'm blanking. Oh, I can't think for the life of me right now. It'll come back to me. Cameron Munster, Nathan Cleary, and there's like Regal Campbell Gillard, Benny Hunt, or Harry Grant, for instance, either or. And then all the other front rowers. There's Cam Murray, there's Pat Carrigan, there's Tino, there's Isaiah Yo, there's Liam Martin. Liam Martin had a standout year as well. Panthers players are just too good lately. I hate it. Panthers just too good. But no, I'm glad Australia win. They're going to win a World Cup this year. They did. Now I don't have to worry about football. I can support England.
Yeah. I mean, at least we can win something in sports.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, we will definitely see what goes on with the FIFA World Cup, and Star Wars is what now dead until January 4 Bad Batch season 2.
I'm more excited for Jedi Survivor.
Bro, it comes out March 20.
I'll just wait until it's delayed. Don't worry.
Wait, dude.
Was it delayed? Wasn't it coming out before that? Wasn't it supposed to come out in February?
It come out this year. It came out last year.
Whatever.
Got delayed from 2021, 2022, 2023, March 20. Bro, that's perfect though. March 20, 2 days before my birthday.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Perfect for me. You want them to freaking delay it. Bro, it's just like the Lego Skywalker Saga. How many times did they delay that?
Oh, did you play it?
Oh, my brother got it. I didn't play it. My brother finished the game.
It was disappointing.
Was it?
It was so disappointing.
Huh.
I didn't hate it. Like I played it up to the sequels, and then I'm like, eh.
Yeah, in the trailer, they have the freaking Kylo and Rey fight. They don't even have Mustafa.
Yeah, no, it's
What? Like,
my problem with it is like the world feels so empty for a Lego game. It's supposed to be like the world. I mean, I get the world is massive. It's absolutely humongous, but you're playing on a next gen console. Like you can make it a little bit more full. We were told that we could visit different time periods as well. As like I wanted to go as Kylo Ren back to
like the prequels.
back to the prequels, and then I wanted to be, if I were to change into a Sith character, I wanted clones to then attack me or whatever.
Right.
So then I could just go rampant in the streets and kill everything as a Force user. But you don't get to kill anything, not unless you do side missions or actual missions. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I want like a Star Wars like video game, like which is like open world.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. Apparently Ubisoft are developing one, but Star Wars
Mm,
games are
yeah.
who
Let's
knows?
hope Ubisoft don't delay them. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, come on, Star Wars.
Yep. I think that's everything for today's episode. Longer than I actually expected. About an hour and 50 minutes in total now. Much longer than I expected. I didn't even think we'd reach an hour. So nearly 2 hours. That's good. Episode 30, the big 30, 30 episodes of All Things Podcast. And yeah, wow, Sport Lately has been amazing. Our last episode, Wakanda Forever, obviously with Joseph, did very well. It's now our most listened video on YouTube. It's averaging what we get on Spotify. Spotify has quite dipped a bit recently, but on YouTube it is doing very well. But you got anything else, Joseph, you want to touch on before we head off?
No,
All right.
no,
Well,
I think that's it.
thank you for coming back onto the show. It was a good episode.
Always good.
Yeah, always good. And we'll catch you guys very soon. I guess. I don't know. Computer's been playing up lately, but I kind of have fixed it. Last episode production might have been a little bit bad, but I pretty much fixed it. But yeah, I'll see you guys whenever. And Joseph, thanks again. Yeah, thanks guys. We will see you all soonish, and please support by giving us a thumbs up, rating, subscribe, follow. All socials linked down below, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.